Welcome to another in our series on scholarly habits for Greek exegesis. We're looking at habit 2, how to actually look at Greek words in the New Testament, words in the New Testament, and determine what they mean. Well, one way that scholars do that is they have a form of debate, both written and verbal, that talks about Greek word studies, and they have a very formalized way so that they can actually debate. Now, in this debate, they have an outline of what you should discuss. You should look at lexicons, and we examined how we looked at Thayer's, the BDAG lexicons, and how we synthesized these multiple lexicons into a nice coherent summary of what it means. Then we looked at Kittel's Theological Dictionary. I have a printout of that you can study, and Verbrugge's Theological Dictionary. And the third dictionary we're going to look at is a second-tier dictionary called the ISBE, and it's similar to Vine's in that Kittel and Verbrugge look at the Greek words. ISBE looks at the English concepts behind it, so it may combine things. But the ISBE does give you a link to the Greek. And then next we'll synthesize, that is, compare and contrast these theological dictionaries before we synthesize both the lexicons and the theological dictionaries. So let's take a look at our study passage, which is ἐπιτιμαω in Luke 17:3, and we're going to look at that as part of Luke's passage 1 through 14. Rebuke. What does it say in the International Standard Bible Encyclopedia? Rebuke is an Old Testament Hebrew translation. Okay, that's not what we're looking at. We're going to look for the Greek one, and I've highlighted it. In the New Testament, rebuke is often the translation of the Greek ἐπιτιμαω. Okay, we've got it. And that's about it. And also, the King James of elecho, always rendered reprove. So we're going to actually look at what this means. That's all it really tells us. It gives us the Matthew translation. So what do we see? It says here rebuke. We're given 3 verses in Matthew's Gospel. Notice this restricts it to a Matthew discussion. Matthew 8:22 and 17. Jesus rebuking the wind and rains and demons, and Peter rebuking it. And a New Testament epistle, 2 Peter, where Christian teacher rebukes. Well, let's look at those Matthew passages. We looked at them with the BDAG and with Thayer's. If we look at 8:26, he rebukes the wind and the waves, and it became calm. If we look at 16:2, Peter takes him aside and rebukes him. If we look at 17:18, you see Jesus rebuking it and the demon flying. It's not directly mentioned where he warns them or the disciples. So this is, again, taking a smaller one. So how would you describe it? It has the same twofold sense of ἐπιτιμαω, honor and blame. And in the New Testament, to rebuke is almost a translation. Very short. We maybe have 2 sentences on that. Well, folks, that shows you the difference between a complex, detailed 11-volume work such as Kittel's 11-volume New Testament dictionary, a shorter version, a concise, clear discussion, a single volume by Verbrugge, and then the ISBE, which is the second tier that gives you an English translation. Please take a look at those. I've placed them online, and we will next talk about the synthesis of the multiple theological dictionaries. Thank you for listening. I look forward to chatting with you as we continue this series by looking at how we summarize multiple theological dictionaries.